Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. 25% tariffs on vehicles shipped to the U.S. start Thursday. Duties on parts set to begin by May 3rd. And after weeks of lead up to that, it seems much less groundbreaking now after President Donald Trump imposed history-making new tariffs on Wednesday. Amy Kiley has more on how this could affect the average American.
President Donald Trump is imposing a 10% tariff on imports from all countries, plus higher rates for Cambodia, Vietnam, China, the European Union, and more. Here are 5 ways experts say Americans might feel the impact. 1, higher prices.
It's thousands of dollars. We're talking at least 2% of the median household income that this will cost American households.
Most economists predict U.S. businesses that pay the tariffs will pass on some or all of the costs to consumers. The Trump administration downplays that.
The businesses don't have to pass them on, or the producers in the other countries can eat the tariffs. 2,
an economic slowdown.
What you're seeing here is a potential haircut to GDP for 2025 of about 3%.
J.P. Morgan predicts a global recession if Trump maintains his tariffs. Economists say a 1930 trade war deepened the Great Depression.
We know what happened in 1929, 1930 in the crash.
Trump supporters note other countries don't have to retaliate.
They're going to bring their tariffs down because they need the U.S. to be active trading partners.
3, blows to retirement funds if the stock market doesn't fully rebound. 4, high interest rates if the Federal Reserve sees too much inflation. And 5, growth for some domestic manufacturers. Economists say they're the biggest winners under Trump's tariffs.
We have to save the people in the industries of the United States.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Efficiency. It's become a bit of a buzzword this year thanks to the federal government, but high-ranking officials in Nebraska are awaiting a report they say could create more efficiency in state government. A Utah-based consulting firm named Epiphany is in the second year of a 4-year, $10 million contract with the state of Nebraska to find ways to save money. Their first report, released last summer, identified what they said was over $500 million in potential government savings. The state treasurer Tom Breezy says those cutbacks are designed to avoid affecting Nebraskans negatively.
They clearly indicated that no, we are not going to jeopardize services with what we recommend. The maintenance of existing services or improving or providing additional services are important to them. And so they have assured us that what they're looking at will not impact services. And I think all of us agree that we don't want to negatively impact the services we're providing to Nebraskans.
Governor Jim Pillen has applied some of Epiphany's recommendations this year. He's directed state agencies to look for more federal funds, eliminated hundreds of unfilled state-level positions, and this year has thrown his support behind Plymouth Senator Tom Brandt's bill that would merge the Department of Natural Resources and the Department of Environment and Energy into one combined department. Breezy says these are steps that could help Nebraska navigate a potential 9-figure shortfall this year.
Some would suggest that we have a structural problem with our budget in Lincoln, the revenue versus the appropriations. And this efficiency review that I spoke of, generally those reviews can find from 4 to 6% in savings of a state's general fund budget. In Nebraska's case, that could be $300 to $400 million per year. $300 to $400 million of additional savings every year would essentially resolve this potentially structural problem we have with our budget and our revenue situation.
Breezy introduced the measure that ultimately led to Epiphany's hiring while he was still a state senator in 2023. He says they're expecting the second report soon, but didn't have an exact date. Phelps County will be hosting several upcoming discussions about adding housing options for those who are struggling. Crossroads Mission Avenue is considering turning a Holdridge motel into a transitional living facility. Officials say the facility is not a homeless shelter, meant to be more of a longer-term option for community members looking for permanent solutions. There'll be 2 town halls that will take place for the community to get more information and ask questions. Those sessions will be Friday, April 11th at 3:30 and again at 5:30 at the South Central Area Recovery Offices in Holdridge.
When the next severe weather event happens, don't get caught in the dark. Power your kitchen, HVAC, and communication systems with a Jackery solar-capable generator. Just click on our YouTube affiliate shopping tab and you're on your way. And Husker fans, the Explorer Series is perfect for tailgating.
Well, it's almost game time for a new state-of-the-art athletic facility in central Nebraska. The Kearney SportsPlex is hosting an open house this weekend in preparation for both Monday's grand opening and next Thursday's ribbon cutting. The event Saturday will be from 9 to 6. Visitors will be able to explore and try out the new building. The new facility, the biggest of its kind in between Lincoln and Denver, a 66,000 square foot indoor turf field, a 59,000 square foot hardwood court, also 4 pickleball courts and a 300-meter indoor track. The facility will open for normal operating hours starting Monday. Festivals, concerts, other big events can bring in a lot of visitors and a lot of money to a community, but for small towns, hosting them isn't always easy, especially without a proper venue. Casey Wannenberg has details on one town's new effort to change that.
From taking in Nebraska's largest waterfall to tubing down the Niobrara National Scenic River or checking out a certified dark sky.
These are some of the darkest skies on the planet. It's wonderful.
Tourists from all over Nebraska and even the country visit Cherry County.
Oh yes, it's amazing. So the amount of lodging tax dollars that Cherry County collects are probably, we rank probably in the top 25% of actually cities in Nebraska.
Greg Nollett would know. He's been on the Cherry County Tourism Board for more than 30 years.
I was long enough on the board that I got in on how it all started. I think it was postcards that got sent out in the backs of Young's Western Wear store to try to promote and bring people to town.
Since then,
those are faculae.
Tourism has taken off, but Nollett says there's still something missing. A convention center to host larger events. That's why this tourism board is partnering with the county and Mid-Plains Community College to build one in Valentine.
I can't wait for the first day that we have 200 or 300 people that we can drop down onto Main Street and say, this is only here because we just had this convention center built.
The convention center will be located in this green space right behind me, right next to Mid-Plains Community College. The goal is to break ground in July 2026.
We're about ready to start a fundraising campaign, which I think we have all kinds of levels of donations that we're looking at.
The group hopes to raise around $4 million. A larger donation could allow you to name a meeting room. But even smaller donations will be recognized in some way.
It's a little bit of a legacy for what you can bring to our community in our area.
It's a catalyst, so it brings people to town, opportunity for other business and new growth.
A major investment that could help Cherry County grow, not just as a tourist destination, but as a thriving community. In Valentine, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
Well, it's the time of year where hunters across Nebraska are ready to set up a blind, throw a few decoys out, and hope for a big tom to come strutting out of the timber. Jake Bartecki spoke with Game and Parks about the state of the wild turkey population as the hunting season gets underway.
The hunting season for wild turkey across Nebraska is well underway, and given the time of the year, I spoke with Nebraska Game and Parks about the current state of wild turkey populations and what factors cause fluctuation.
Past 5 years, the population has steadied out a bit. So poult per hen ratio is up this year compared to last year. We can expect to see a lot of young of the year.
Carly Celine is the Game and Parks manager of the Wild Turkey program and says after record high numbers of populations in the late 2000s, Nebraska's turkey population took a dip. But as she noted, good things have happened in recent years, one of them being a drought.
If you're a ground nester like turkeys, more rain isn't necessarily good. It's tough for thermoregulating those eggs when they're too cold. It's tough for poults to survive when they're little and it's too wet and rainy like that.
This means turkey numbers have risen in areas of the state like northeast Nebraska, the Panhandle, the Niobrara region, as well as south central Nebraska. Many believe mesopredators like raccoons play a role in turkey population numbers, often believed to have been targeting eggs and nests. However, Celine says that's not quite the case, at least in Nebraska.
We don't have evidence that they seek out turkeys and turkey eggs. It's more of an incidental thing where if they're stumbling along doing raccoon things and encounter a nest, then they might predate them. but there's not many predators intentionally pursuing turkeys.
In Lincoln, Jake Bartecki, News Channel, Nebraska.
And finally, last January, a central Nebraska boy was fighting for his life after suffering complications from a surgery. The 12-year-old in critical condition, but because of the precise and quick response of a life flight crew, he got the opportunity to meet the people who ultimately saved his life. Ryan Valenta has the story.
It's not every day you see a helicopter landing on a middle school football field.
Amazing. I would go on it again if I could.
Wednesday was an opportunity for Axel Barahona to reunite and meet the life flight crew credited with saving his life.
Every patient is pretty significant to us. I mean, that's why we're in this field. But anytime we start dealing with kids, it's a totally different story.
On January 29th of 2024, 12-year-old Axel collapsed while getting up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night after a recent tonsillectomy. Axel was suffering from sepsis due to complications from his surgery and went into cardiac arrest twice.
I kept on asking, how far are we to the hospital? How far are we in the hospital?
Tri-City LifeNet airlifted him from Hastings to Children's Hospital in Omaha, who kept him alive in a race against the clock.
I don't know if I want to say scary. It was just overwhelming when we got to Children's. We were met with an amazing team. When we walked into the hospital, we were met by about 30 clinicians that they were doing stuff immediately.
Over a year later, friends, family, and almost the entirety of Hastings Middle School gathered to watch as the same crew who took care of Axel reunited in a heartwarming reunion.
I smiled so I just smiled a whole bunch. Like I was so excited and happy.
Axel took up the opportunity to ride front and center in the helicopter, so for the first time, he can say he's taken a trip in a helicopter on his own accord. Axel says he's looking forward to what life still has yet to offer and wants to be a paleontologist when he grows up.
Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me in the helicopter and everything you've done for me to get to Omaha as fast as I could to stay here.
Reporting in Hastings, Ryan Valenta, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.